Lee Boxer True. Hope you enjoyed your 4th of July. I know I did. I enjoyed the boxing too on TNT / The Zone. Main event. You had Abdullah Mason and Albert Bell. Lightweight competition, 135 pound. And you had Abdullah Mason, who's one of the youngest champions at 22 years old, going against a sparring partner. Not just any sparring partner, but a sparring partner with an undefeated record and 11, probably about 10 or 11 years more pro experience. How this fight happened is the other fight fell through, so they needed a backup. And to me, I was like, this sounds like a setup. You got somebody that really knows him, is undefeated, is a difficult fighter, and I believe he's like 6'1", 6'2", if I'm not mistaken, taller than him. No kind of flaws that we see. We haven't lost the fight, but then again, this was his first title fight, and I believe he's 33 years old. So everybody, they're still wondering how this fight's going to go. And for the first 6 rounds, I'm seeing Abdullah Mason get worked. I'm seeing Abdullah Mason get worked by Bell. Bell is just working him and working him and working him, and nothing seeming to work. You're hearing the commentators saying that it's not looking good for Mason, Abdullah Mason. This is supposed to be the fight that he's supposed to be, win. Yeah, it's a tough fight, but this is a good win under his belt. Then all of a sudden, one thing, let me just point this out. One thing I can say is that his training, his corner team is good. They're telling him the truth. They're not sugarcoating nothing. They're letting him know that, hey, you need to fight. You need to do these things. You need to go. You need to go down low. Go in the, hit him in the stomach. Body shots. Go up top. Go back down. They're giving him clear instructions of what he needs to do and letting him know that this needs to happen. So the 7th round comes out. Because of all the body work, he has been touching him up and down. So he wasn't just head hunting the whole fight. That's the good thing. He was touching him here and there, but Bell was just outworking him for those 6 rounds. He was just outworking him, just doing what he needed to do to win these rounds. But the 7th round was a change of events. You seen Abdullah Mason come over, hit him, get a headshot because he's been trying to protect the body because he doesn't like Abdullah Mason going down to the body. Bell's like, oh shoot, and then all of a sudden, Abdullah Mason catches him, headshot, boom, rocks him, and then this becomes the beginning of the end. And then you see Bell, once the 7th round ends, he's breathing heavy. Remind you, he's never been to 12 rounds. So, and in this fight being on a short notice, meaning that he hadn't had a full camp. But at the same time, people were like, oh, he should have waited. This was unfair. He pretty much saved the fight, helped out a friend because they are friends, and at the same time got paid more money than he would get paid for the fight that he got out of. He was supposed to fight, I believe, at the end of the month, but that fight, it didn't happen because he got called for this fight, which was double the money, so what I heard. So at the end of the day, you got to look out for your family and stuff, for your kids, your wife, and stuff like that. So if that's the opportunity, and it's already, written in stone that you'll get these monies, why not? These boxers got to look out for themselves and their family. And what his friend did was like, because he went through other fighters and they didn't accept it, probably went to him last option, and he said no problem. Sometimes you might have to do that. Sometimes you might have to fight a person that you call friend that you've been sparring in. You guys are in the same weight division, so I don't know why you wouldn't think that would never happen, but it happened. But Abdullah Mason, he did what he needed to do. Those rest of the rounds, he made sure he had a clear advantage. And then 12th round dropped him. And then 12th round got dropped again. But then the ref stopped the fight. Now, they're probably going to say it's a early stoppage. But we're more likely getting a repeat. He's going to be knocked down 2 or 3 times in that round. So those 2 knockdowns to me pretty much secured the fight. With those 2 knockdowns in that one round, that clearly said, okay, this is the difference. It was a tight fight, but you got 2 knockdowns in the 12th round, and plus you're already the champion. So, and you really got to be convincing. Now, if he would have kept up that same work rate, and Abdullah Mason didn't have nothing to answer, no kind of answer for it, this would have been totally different, and Abdullah Mason would have had to go back and rebuild back over. But because he won this fight, the next fight, hopefully he can make sure that this fight is a fight that gets done. There ain't no kind of problems, because I believe the other fight was visa problems or whatnot. But all I can say, it was a good night for boxing. Bob Arum was in the stands and everything. You had Terrence Crawford doing announcements along with Sean Porter, and that's a good look too. That is a good look. So it looks like DAZN is getting a lot of these fights now. DAZN is like now the platform for these fights, and you got TNT. So with that being said, if you haven't seen the fights, if you have on demand, see it on TNT, or if you have DAZN, go take a look at that fight, especially, definitely the main event fight, Abdullah Mason versus Albert Bell. Watch that fight, and any other fights too. They had some good fights that night. With that being said, Lee's Boxer Truth, like, comment, you know what to do. Subscribe.